It's all about a connection. If you can connect with your players and show them that you can coach them and make them better, then the players start trusting you. And
Looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out Book It Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the Book It Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the Book It Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.
All right, it's overtime. PhillyVoice.com/the middle each and every day, courtesy of Book It Sports. The three of us, or some variation of that, maybe even with Mertitas, McMullen. You never know who's going to be in town here. Bring you what we couldn't get to, or simply what we needed to talk about even more. So it's myself and Barrett hanging for a couple here with you, and I just it's hilarious that all of this stuff with Carson continues to continue. And I'm still, like, every day, I don't know about you, Barrett, but every day I'm looking and thinking, because that's what I asked earlier in the show, did something new come out? Because it feels like every day this story is being discussed like there's new stuff. And then I go back and I'm like, wait a second, we haven't had anything new in a month and a half.
Well, he hasn't given us anything, but the biggest thing is, just like Rob said, I mean, his silence speaks volume. I mean, he hasn't said anything to alter what we've been saying about him. So, I mean, at this point, we're only in a position where we're just going by what everybody else is saying. I just understand the dynamics of being in a locker room and understanding with a new coaching staff as they come in. You don't know them, they don't know you. But instead of thinking about everything that the head coach said as far as messing up and stuttering and things of that nature, I'm not worried about that, because we're not paying him to be this savant on press conferences. We want him to coach. And if you take away the nuggets of what he said that were directly correlating with the players, then you kind of see the direction he wants to go in. It's all about a connection. If you can connect with your players and show them that you can coach them and make them better, then the players start trusting you. And I think that's the direction that they need to go in order for this team to be successful. Now, they are talent deprived. I mean, they don't have a lot of talent on this team, not really to even compete in our division. But you have to put a team together, at least establish a culture in that locker room in order to get headed in the right direction. Then you start getting the players to take you to that next level. But at this point, they have to go about making sure that they connect with the players. And right. I thought that was great. I thought that was masterful in the way he said that. But, everybody else is, oh, he lied to us. Oh, man, this dude doesn't know anything about being a guru in press conferences. He's got to learn. He doesn't know yet.
Well, I think it's also that there just wasn't much confidence in his answers regarding Carson Wentz, regarding even Howie Roseman. A lot of people want to know, hey, who's controlling this roster? And I think a lot of people don't like the idea, me included, of Howie Roseman standing over people.
Well, that's going to happen. That's the reason why they brought him in here. And when you really think about it, he had to go out there and speak, not really on who he is, but what they want him to be. They've prepped him for an entire week to give a press conference, and he executed that press conference to the best of his ability on what they wanted him to say.
Yeah.
If he was going to say what he said, he was fluent in when he let that out. When he was fluent in as far as the connection, he was fluent as far as, what he wants to accomplish, who the leaders need to be on this team. He was fluent in that, because that wasn't downloaded to him to articulate to Philly fans. But the stuff that they wanted him to talk about, he wasn't as fluent in, and that's why he didn't, have such a good showing for the first time.
But that's why, and I go back to, that's why he's here. And it felt strange. Like, it just felt disconnected. It felt disjointed. It felt like, hey, I'm here to fix the problem. Like, I brought somebody over here to fix my sink, and he's telling me how he needs to fix a door upstairs. And I get it. Like, he may have a lot of history fixing doors, but the optics of it was, hey, you were brought in to fix my sink. And and here's the thing about it. I won't even blame Nick Sirianni. Like,
You
I
can't.
think a lot of people believe that Nick Sirianni is starting his coaching tenure with one, if not two hands tied behind his back.
I don't know.
And that's a huge issue that he has to get over. But then we also have Carson Wentz, who's gone on Twitter and welcomed everybody to Philadelphia, from Jalen Hurts to other people who were brought in. And yet we haven't seen even a tweet from him on either Sirianni's hire or before that Doug's departure. So when you add this up about, okay, Nick Sirianni, I get it. Like, it wasn't a strong press conference, but you're here to do 1-2 things. One of those things is to work with Carson. And then as a fan, we're like, well, we're hearing Carson doesn't want to be here. We're not hearing anything from Carson Wentz. And if this coach was brought in mainly to fix Carson and Carson isn't here, where does that leave us?
Right. Well, you got to also understand the facts, the dynamics of a pandemic. So he really is not going to be able to be around Carson probably till training camp. Not even in OTAs, not even in, those times. It's going to be tough for this whole situation to really unfold. And Carson's not making it any easier. Carson, he is he's the crux of the matter. He's the cog that gets this machine going. At the end of the day, this team goes where Carson goes. Now, if Carson leaves and he jumps off the ship and they trade him, then it'll go to Hurts as being the cog that makes this whole thing go. The starting quarterback is the reason why this team didn't have success last year. Yes, they had injuries on the offensive line. I understand that. But there were 30 sacks in which were given up because the quarterback held the ball for more than 4 seconds. You're only really allotted, 2.5 seconds to throw the ball, get the ball out of your hands. So when you have an offensive line blocked for more than 4 seconds and you still can't execute a play, that has a lot to do with the quarterback not accomplish what he needed to accomplish. So I'm not really worried about anything but the quarterback position right now. There'll be a better offensive line. You have the fact that you have a Jordan Mailata establish himself as a starting left tackle.
Right.
You still have, guys coming back at like Brooks and Lane Johnson. I hope Kelsey comes back.
We hope, right?
I hope he does. But if they don't, they move Jordan Mailata over. Nate Herbig, hopefully he'll get a little tougher. Hope he doesn't hurt his hand. He'll be the starter.
There's so much hope for this team, man. I don't want to have hope anymore.
Hope is eternal, man. You have to have hope.
Dallas doesn't have hope. They're just waiting for Dak Prescott to come back. Washington believes that they're a quarterback away from being a force in the NFC. Look
at the Giants come back. They're gonna have their starting running back. It's Saquon Barkley. So
right.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of factors.
And what kills me about it, Barrett, is you're right, where it's like, I hope. And I'm with you. I hope all the same things. But it feels like we're just preparing ourselves for what might be the inevitable, which is just they're not going to reach that. Our hope and what they hit is going to be two completely different things. And that's where it's like, okay, well, did we really they did a lot. They moved on from everybody. They moved on from every single person in their staff that was impactful in the coaching, including Deuce, through circumstance, moved on.
Well, they might have left
man. You can't just bring fresh people in here.
Well, they did bring back the most important piece on that coaching staff, and that's the offensive line coach, Coach Stoutland. That's where the ball gets going with Coach Stoutland, his ability to coach these younger guys up and they become players. He took a guy that never played football, and Jordan Mailata made him a baller. So I don't know what they're going to do with Dillard.
Okay.
What is Dillard going to do? I've never seen somebody so happy to be on IR. I mean, it seemed like he got a total weight lifted off his chest when they put him on IR. He was just a happy guy. Before that, oh my goodness, he was so sad, and he walked around with his head down. But as soon as he got put on IR, he was the happiest guy in the world. He started smiling and everything. So that's not putting me in a good place with him as far as his competitive nature. I don't see that he loves football at all.
No, I don't know. And that was,
first round.
Yeah, you got to exhaust something and you don't need every single person to be diehard about it, but you got to find something in there that might be a deterrent. I don't know. And if that's one, then I don't think that's going to be one that people are going to come back to and say, oh, I can't believe you passed. It's one thing to be like, Fletcher Cox, for example, right? Who has a lot of things he does off the field and has a lot of interests. And who knows if he watched the Super Bowl or not, but he talks a lot about stuff he does besides play football. And it was something that, like you, it was something that was thrown on you. But there's a difference, right? There's a difference between, hey, I didn't want to play football. I'm here, so I'm going to put my work ethic into what I'm doing, a la you, Fletcher Cox, and others, versus I don't like playing football. And I started when I was in Pop Warner, and because I'm good, I'm making millions, I'm going to keep doing it. Like that's where I think the optics are that could, and I think it's unfair for people to reach this conclusion, but I think that's what people may think.
It's not unfair with
Dillard.
It's not unfair with Dillard. It's one of those things. Marshawn Lynch, what did he say? I'm only here so I don't get fined. He said, I'm only here because I don't get fined. I'm only here because I want to collect a check, but I'm not here to play football. He just doesn't love it, man. It's not him to love it. I mean, the competitive nature alone will make you go out there and fight. And I see no fight in this young man.
No. Zero. It's ridiculous, man.
Yep.
All right. We're back. I hear the doorbell ringing. Go ahead.
Yep. All right, bro. Peace.
We're back tomorrow. Again, another edition of Overtime brought to you by Book It Sports. We'll see you on Thursday.
Are you looking for a place to track your action, purchase picks, and share your sports betting analysis with the gambling community? Check out Book It Sports, a social media platform with an unparalleled experience catered for the sports betting community. On the Book It Sports app, you can track all your NFL, NBA, and college basketball picks while getting real-time updates and injury reports all in one convenient place. Start building your following today and stand out amongst your friends by downloading the Book It Sports app on the Apple and Google Play stores. Let's cash some tickets and put it on Book It.